Hello, this is Alex Eames from Raspberry.tv.
Hello, today I've got some headers to cut and I've come up with a quick hack to be able to do that, so I thought I'd share it with you for fun. It's a bit of a departure from the videos I normally make, but what the heck, I think you'll find it interesting. So, the story is, I've got some headers to cut. If you've got male headers to cut, or to shorten, you can use a device like this. This one happens to be a red snapper that was made and designed by Ben Gray from Phenoptics. Male headers are very easy to break up and to cut. I also had this one that I did for the Raspberry Inspiring bent headers. This was just made of a simple hand screw and a couple of boards just to get things in the right place. As you can see, it works well. When you've got lots of headers to cut, you need a jig, otherwise it just becomes too tedious. But today I have a need to cut some female headers, and that's a bit more of a nuisance. These are 15-way female headers and I want 13s. I need them today. I haven't even got time to order the right ones in stock, even if they're available. So how do you do it? If you had one or two to do, you could probably snip them with snippers and then sand or file the ends. That's great. But if you've got 100 to do for a product, you want something a little bit more robust than that. So I've built a jig using my Dremel and the flexible snake adapter, which enables me to be able to clamp down the Dremel on a surface and essentially make a little table saw. So let's have a little look at that now. So we've got the Dremel here and the flexible adapter that enables me to clamp it to a couple of bits of perspex. They're actually the back of an old screen case that was a project I once was involved with. There's a slot in these ones which is exactly the same size as this slot here, which enables this to be clamped effectively, but not too hard to squash it and stop it rotating. You have to get that just right, but because you really want to hold that in place securely. And another clamp which is holding the perspex plates in place to the bench. On the other side we've actually got the working surface. So we've got, I think, 3 plates of perspex with slots so that the disc can spin nicely. Then those are clamped to the bench. Now here we've got a fence clamped to the surface, which is basically just a piece of thin birch with a nice straight edge, and it's clamped at exactly the right distance to cut off exactly the number of pins that I want removed and leave us with what we've got, which should be 13. Now this is difficult to do and you want to keep your fingers well away from the cutting blade. I have a healthy respect for any kind of fast rotating cutting thing that can damage soft tissue, so it's a good idea to have some sort of a push stick, which is what this piece of wood acts as. So essentially you load one, you push it against the fence, use the push stick to push it through the blade, and obviously you have to turn it on and it makes a mess, and it's very advisable to wear a mask because the dust this stuff gives out is really horrible. When it gets into your lungs it really is uncomfortable and nasty. And safety specs, when you're using the spinny things, safety specs are always a very good idea. Okay, let's fire it up and cut some headers, see how well it works. Taking a closer look at the headers I've just cut, you can see they're a little bit raggedy on the end, but that can just be chased off with a little stroke of a knife. And there you have it. we now have 15-way headers cut down to 13-way, and you can get through them quite quickly. The longest part of the process is actually building the jig itself. Very important, wear eye protection, wear a mask, and keep your fingers out of the cutting disc because it's all too easy to injure yourself. Ideally, I'd make one with the blade underneath the table and the table on top, so just a little bit was sticking through, then you're much less likely to hurt yourself. But as I said, I don't have a regular requirement for this, it's kind of a one-off. If I only had 2 or 3 to cut, I'd probably do it by hand anyway. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was a quick hack, and if you give us a thumbs up if you liked it, if people like this kind of video, then I might end up making more of them. This was Alex Eames for raspie.tv. Thank you for watching.